Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd fa bismillah assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Indeed, all praise and thanks are due to Allah, and peace and blessings be upon His Messenger. Proceeding to the video, we begin with Allah's name subhanahu wa ta'ala, so peace be upon you, welcome and greetings. We're going to jump into the Tanween on Madul Arid, or stopping at the ayat now, inshallah. So basically what we have, we're going to go straight into an example. If we start reciting Surah Zilzal, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا. If I want to stop there, or if I don't want to stop there, it's going to be it's going to be read the same. زِلْزَالَهَا. So if I stop, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا, or if I don't stop, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ وَأَثْقَالَهَا. It's going to be read the same, because that alif there, even if we remove that, it wouldn't make a difference because we have a fatha on the ha before it. So we're just going to read it with that fatha anyway. So that's the Suratul Zilzal example. Now we're going to jump into the Suratul Adiyat example. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا. And that's if I want to continue. Now if I want to stop, what do? Well, basically what you're going to want to do is, well, you look at the Tanween Fathatain, that means Nun Sukoon. So you're going to take one of those out to take away the Nun Sukoon, and you end up with Fatha, and then you're going to have to say that Fatha. So the way, if you wanted to stop, the way this would sound is وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. So you probably see these regulators on top of the ayat. Basically, if you follow the principle that you stop at every ayat, then you won't really pay much attention to the markings above the ayat, because again, if the principle is that you stop at every ayat, no matter what the marking above it says, you're going to stop there. So if you stop وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا, and these are all two haraka, فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. If you don't want to stop, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. So that's basically that, and we'll go into one more example with a mud now, inshallah. Surah Al-Baqarah, if we say الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ فِرَاشًا وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً. Now let's say I run out of breath. What should I do? Well, there's a sod here. If we remember the rules, it says desirable to continue and to not pause. But let's say I run out of breath and I have to pause here. How would I pause? I would say وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً. So I recite the muttasil for a full 5 haraka if I do 5, or 4 if I do 4. And then there's a tanween on the hamza, fathatain specifically. So I'm going to take one out because that's a nun sakin. And if I take one out, I'm still going to have a fatha left over, so I have to recite it. And because I'm stopping, it will automatically be 2 haraka. So bina'a. And now if I stop there, because the sod says it's desirable to continue, what I'm going to want to do is go back a few words and continue it to make the flow. So let's say I run out of breath. الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ فِرَاشًا وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً فِرَاشًا وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, etc. So what you see is, or what you heard is that I went from firashan and then I continued on, because if I lost my breath at this point, then that means that because there was a saw, that means it's desirable to continue. So if I lose my breath while reciting the whole ayat, I just go back a few words to finish up. And that's the ruling on having a stop at a fathatain. So you're going to say the a and the madul muttasil. If you remember in the previous video, we had kasratain, meaning 2 kasra. So you're not going to say e at a kasratain. Like if you remember in the previous example, we did thalathata quru. We're not going to say thalathata quru'i. We're just gonna make the madul muttasil 5 haraka if we do 5, and just cut it out a little abrupt shortness because it's kasratain. So this rule basically applies to the fathatain on the hamza. So this is the rules of stopping on tanween, and inshallah in the next video we'll be covering the pronunciation of Allah's name subhanahu wa ta'ala lafzul jalala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.